From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
And it is 5 o'clock here on your Tuesday. Good morning to you. I'm Lauren Casey.
Lauren, good morning. I'm Rafael Sanchez. Here are your headlines on September the 22nd. Voting absentee in November could prove to be a little trickier than it was in June. Working for you, our Kelsey Anderson breaks down everything that you need to know.
And we're learning more about the teenage brothers killed in a Kokomo plane crash. This morning, how friends of the victims say they want those boys to be remembered.
Replacing baseballs with birdies when you can enjoy another 9 holes at Victory Field. I'll need Todd Clausen, Lauren, to join us on that because I know nothing about golf, but he is our expert.
Yes, I know nothing about it as well, but what I do know is both of my friends are here in studio with me today. Todd Clausen, of course, in studio, but Rafael, it's great to see you in person this morning.
Computer failure will always bring you back into the Studio A. And so I'm not at home. I'm with you all. So good morning. It's good to see you at the Green Wall.
Likewise.
Yes.
Good morning, everybody. And welcome to Good Morning Indiana on this Tuesday.
Technology's great, right? Until it doesn't work. And then we're glad to have you back here in studio. Rafael, as you walk out the door this morning, it was a little on the cool side once again. Temperatures are in the 40s in most locations. And one of the reasons why we've been cooling it down has been the clear skies and the light winds. A live look from IMS towards downtown Indianapolis. Temperatures this morning range from 54 in Indy to 52 in Lafayette. A little cooler as you work your way down to the south. Bloomington currently at 47 degrees. And just like the past couple days, we'll start you off with plenty of sunshine in this forecast. It's another sun-filled day for us from start to finish with these clouds and most of this rain staying to our south. So here's the center of Tropical Storm Beta. Some of the rain extending north now into Arkansas. Unfortunately, this is not going to continue northward towards central Indiana. So it's a dry day for us once again, with temperatures warming up to 70 degrees by the noon hour. So we take a big jump this morning, 20 degrees from 8 a.m. to the noon hour, and then we'll warm a couple more degrees up to 77 degrees. We don't have that bright blue sky like we've had the past couple days. We have more of that milky looking sky as we deal with some of the smoke from the wildfires out west.
All right, Todd, thank you. It is 5:02. If you plan to vote absentee in November, listen up because it could be a little trickier than it was back in June.
WRTV's Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with what you need to know. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning. So last week I received a postcard in the mail from the United States Postal Service, which naturally I forgot to bring with me this morning, but it said if you plan to vote absentee, you need to plan ahead. So for the primary in June, the state approved no excuse absentee, but that has not happened yet for the general election. So as of right now, in order to vote absentee, one of the following must apply to you. You have a specific reasonable excuse why you will be absent from the county on election day. You have a disability. You are at least 65 years of age. You have official election duties outside of your voting precinct. You are scheduled to work during the entire 12 hours that the polls are open. You or someone you care for is sick or injured. You are prevented from voting because of a religious discipline or religious holiday. You are a participant in the state's address confidentiality program. You are a member of the military or public safety officer. You are a serious sex offender, or you are prevented from voting due to the unavailability of transportation to the polls. Now, the deadline to apply to vote absentee is 1 month from today, October 22nd. And so to apply to vote absentee, you need to head to indianavoters.com to do so. And if you have concerns on mailing your ballot in, you can take it in to your election offices in your county or drop it off on election day before 12. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Kelsey, thank you. The time right now is 5:03, and if you need to register to vote, Ivy Tech is hosting 2 drive-through voter registration events. They'll be held from 9 to 6 at the campus on Fall Creek Parkway. You can register to vote, update your existing registration, check your registration status, or request an absentee ballot. Ivy Tech asks that all participants wear a mask. The first event is set for today. Another one will be held on October 2nd.
And Lauren, we have more in Democracy 2020. Foot Locker is also helping voters make sure their voice is heard this upcoming November. Today is National Voter Registration Day, a nonpartisan campaign that debuted back in 2012. The athletic retailer is joining forces with Rock the Vote to give voter registration services. Customers will be able to sign up to take part in the political process at any location. The CEO, Richard Johnson, says the goal is to inspire and empower youth culture. For everything that you need to know ahead of the November election, go to the Vote in 2020 digital section of our website, WRTV.com. There you'll find who's on your ballot, how early and absentee voting works, and much more. 3 presidential debates and 1 vice presidential debate are scheduled to take place before Election Day. The first one is a week from today, Lauren.
And Raphael, President Trump will face off against Joe Biden for 90 minutes. It'll be the first time that the two have met face to face since Trump's inauguration back in 2017. There will be 6 15-minute segments with no commercial breaks. Debate topics will be announced ahead of time, and there should be plenty to discuss, from the coronavirus pandemic and back-to-back natural disasters to racial unrest, a struggling economy, and a sudden Supreme Court vacancy after the death of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. You can watch the debate next Tuesday at 9 p.m. That's right here on WRTV.
New this morning, a southern Indiana man is facing life in prison for murdering his ex-girlfriend and, we're told, eating parts of her body. On Friday, Joseph Oberhansley was convicted for killing Tammy Blanton back in 2014. Today, the jury recommended a sentence of life without the possibility of parole. He does not face the death penalty because of his history of mental illness.
I'm very, very pleased that tonight I can stand here saying mission accomplished, justice has been served, the family can move on, and the community is safe.
But I don't know if anybody else can feel how it feels when a person puts their life in your hands and it comes out like this. Joe now there's a recommendation that he spend the rest of his natural life in prison, and that's very, very difficult for us.
Oberhansley will face formal sentencing next month. His attorneys plan to appeal the conviction.
And this morning, we're learning more about 2 brothers who were killed in a plane crash near Kokomo over the weekend. 15-year-old Reese and 17-year-old Liam Kelly lived in Carmel. They, along with a third teen, 17-year-old Cameron Wagler, were members of a club called the Flying Squirrels. The 3 were flying in a 1980 Piper PA-32 with 63-year-old pilot Gerald Long on Sunday morning. Investigators say Long was trying to land when the plane hit a power line pole, causing it to nosedive into a cornfield and then catch fire. Liam, Reese, and Long, they all died in the crash. Wagler survived. A friend of the Kellys says that she hopes the world remembers Liam and Reese for how they lived their lives.
I got to know them and their family very well. They were always very welcoming and just opening, and always had the warmest smiles on their faces. I hope people would just remember them as the loving people that they were and the hardworking and high achievers they were. Both of them were always so loving and caring to others.
Well, the Kelly brothers were also members of the Westfield High School track and cross country teams. In a tweet, the team said, quote, "We are overwhelmed with grief as we announce the tragic passing of Liam and Reese Kelly. Our friends, our teammates, our brothers, we love you, we miss you, and we will continue to carry you with us forever," end quote.
The time now is 5:08 in Bloomington and Monroe County. This morning, the investigation continues into several house fires on the southwest side of that city. We're told the fire started just before 2 Monday afternoon on South Wiccan Street and then spread to 4 homes. 3 of the houses were heavily damaged. 1 house was left with minor damage. Thankfully, no one was hurt.
And at 5:08, many Hoosiers are still struggling financially because of the pandemic, and hiring Hoosiers is our commitment to connect you to those jobs and resources that you might need right now. The Mad Hatter is a chimney sweep and repair company right here in Indianapolis. They're looking for a chimney service technician. The company says that carpentry and mechanical skills are desirable. You must have the ability to climb ladders without the fear of heights and be able to lift a minimum of 80 pounds.
Hendrickson's is a company in Boone County that designs and manufactures suspension systems and components for heavy-duty trucks and trailers. They need assembly line staff, welders, as well as forklift operators. You can connect with Hendrickson through the website workinboone.com, or you can attend their in-person job fair today from 1 to 6 p.m. You can learn more about all of these jobs and find other open positions through our website, hiringhoosiers.com, and through the Hiring Hoosiers Facebook page.
Well, if you missed it the first time around, you now have another chance to get the 9 holes in at Victory Field. Yeah, the Links at Victory Field is returning next month. The golf experience is returning Thursday, October 15th through Saturday, October 17th. Players tee off from 9 spots in the seating area and outfield berm. The golfers get their 3 balls for each hole, and scoring is based on how close the balls land to the pin. The event is open to individuals and foursomes. You can find more information, including how to reserve a tee time, all on our website, WRTV.com. Sounds like something our Todd Clausen might enjoy. I know Kelsey was out there at some point when they had this, and she looked like she had a lot of fun.
All right, I might have to check it out. I didn't get there the first go around, so I'll have to see if I can get there the second go around. Outside right now, it's quiet once again. Shouldn't have any weather-related issues. As you head into work here this morning, temperatures on average right around 50 degrees with the clear skies, visibility not an issue. And as far as the temperatures throughout the day, today we warm nice. We get all the way up into the mid to upper 70s with skies that'll become partly cloudy. And so it's just another quiet weather day. The one thing you'll notice, a little more hazy today, the sky, than it has been the past few days. And that's due to some of the, again, the smoke from the wildfires out west sneaking in here. But we need the rainfall. Still stuck at this 0.04 of an inch of rain at the airport in Indianapolis. 0.04 of an inch is basically absolutely nothing. And that's what we've had in the last 34 days. That puts us well over 2 inches now below average for the month of September.
We may be in for a very apocalyptic fall, I'm sorry to say.
Our country on the brink of another grim milestone, 200,000 COVID-19 deaths. And now there's confusion from the CDC over how the virus travels through the air. The latest information from the agency, that's next when Good Morning in Indiana continues on this Tuesday morning.
Welcome back. The time right now is 5:14. We do want to take a look at the latest information from the State Department of Health on the impact the pandemic is having on the Hoosier State. 535 new cases of the virus have been reported to the state. That's the lowest number since last Wednesday. 7 new deaths related to COVID-19 were also confirmed by the state health officials. That brings the total number of Hoosier deaths to 3,287. So let's take a look a little bit closer now at who's being impacted by this pandemic. About 48% of the cases today are Hoosiers under the age of 40. Those ages 20 to 29, they have the highest percentage of infection right now at nearly 21%. We do remain in good shape, however, when we look at our hospital resources in our state. 46.2% of the ICU beds are available. Just under 10% of those beds are being used by COVID patients, and more than 82% of the state's ventilators are still available.
Lauren, the U.S. is on the brink of another grim milestone, 200,000 coronavirus deaths. And this morning, health officials say we could surpass 7 million infections by the end of the week. The news comes as the CDC backtracks on guidance that it posted on Friday. The agency said the virus can spread through small droplets lingering in the air and travel more than 6 feet. Monday, that guidance was taken down. The agency saying it was a draft that was posted in error. But some are pointing to political pressure from the Department of Health and Human Services. A federal official familiar with the situation denies that claim. Instead, the official says the retraction was made to follow the CDC to clarify. The agency says that aerosol transmission can happen, but isn't the primary method of transmission.
Well, with just 9 days remaining until the current funding runs out, Congress has moved a step closer to triggering another government shutdown. This after failing to pass a bipartisan deal on a stopgap funding bill to keep the government open. After negotiations halted, House Democrats introduced their own plan Monday afternoon. Their proposal funds the government until December 11th, and they plan to move full steam ahead with that vote today. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has already said he's against that bill. A deal must be reached by the 30th of this month to avoid a shutdown.
So, Lauren, nearly 9 million Americans are still waiting for their stimulus checks 7 months after the CARES Act passed. That's according to a new report issued Monday from the Government Accountability Office. The biggest demographic affected, Americans who don't file taxes and are low income. The report also found that 1 million Americans were underpaid. That includes people who never got their qualifying payment of an extra $500 per child, domestic abuse survivors who don't have access to the bank accounts that check was deposited to, and nearly 700,000 widows who never received a payment because their spouse died.
Well, the wildfires out in California have now burned enough land to make up the state of Connecticut and a little bit of neighboring Massachusetts. That translates to more than 5,600 square miles. We can tell you that more than 24 fires are still burning right now across the state. 5 of them are some of the largest in California's history. The Bobcat Fire, which is the largest, is making its way across the Mojave Desert and still threatening homes near Los Angeles. It's just 15% contained. More than 1,700 firefighters are working to raise that percentage. Around 23,000 people statewide are under evacuation orders this morning. That fire's cause is still under investigation. The time right now is 5:18 on our Tuesday. Let's get a check of our forecast for today with Todd Clausen. Our last few hours of summer, Todd. Wow.
Yeah, you're right. You know, fall officially arrives here at 9:30 this morning, although we're still going to kind of have that summer-like feel for the next couple days as our temperatures are going to be running above normal. As we work our way throughout the course of the next few days, here are your weather headlines. That wildfire smoke is set to return today. Shouldn't cause any air quality issues, but you'll notice that haze in the sky like we had last week and not the bright blue sky over the weekend. Temperatures will remain above normal, and there's some minor rain chances in the forecast. We desperately need some rainfall here across central Indiana. There's just not a whole lot coming our way. The best chance will be with the passage of a cold front over the weekend. More on that in just a minute or two. 45 in Greencastle right now as we get you going on this Tuesday morning. Same in Greenfield as well as Connorsville. 47 in Bloomington. Muncie also at 47 degrees. These temperatures will hold pretty steady, if not drop a degree or two. These are the numbers for Indianapolis, so that's why they're just a little bit warmer than some of the outlying areas. But you notice the trend. Once the sun comes up, that's when temperatures will quickly start to climb once again all across the area. Clear skies right now across Indiana up to our north. These showers will stay there. We'll expand out and we'll show you some rain from Tropical Storm Beta lifting to the north. This is bringing some rain into parts of Arkansas and Oklahoma. While we do get into some of the cloud cover, I think, with this system, we probably don't tap into much of anything in this way of rain. There's maybe a spot storm chance or shower chance in southern locations as we get into tomorrow evening and then early Thursday morning. But it's nothing to what we need as far as rain in the rain gauge to break us out of kind of this mini drought we've been in the last month. 77 today in Marion as well as Frankfort, 80 in Lafayette, 78 in Anderson as well as Shelbyville, 78 today in Indianapolis, and temperatures in the mid-70s in southern locations. So we're all within just a couple degrees of each other for your afternoon highs. This evening, temperatures fall from the 70s into the 60s under that partly cloudy sky. And then overnight tonight, temperatures not quite as cool tomorrow morning as they are this morning. Instead of the widespread 40s, everybody's probably still 50 degrees or warmer. And then throughout the day tomorrow, temperatures once again back into the upper 70s. You will notice a trend, though, I think, especially the second half of the day tomorrow, to more of a mostly cloudy sky. And that's those clouds from Beta passing to our south. We'll continue with mostly cloudy skies on Thursday. And then there's the rain chances. It's probably late Saturday into Sunday that a front goes through with maybe a round of rainfall. It's definitely not a guarantee, especially given the trend that we've been seeing with the dry conditions here across the area. However, it will cool us down once again. By Monday, look for a temperature of 72 degrees. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look right now. This is I-70 here near State Road 39 near Monrovia. You can see traffic right now is moving along up to speed both eastbound and westbound. In the overnight hours, we did have some road maintenance in the westbound lanes that was blocking the interstate. That has since cleared. Everything is back open, as you can see here this morning. But we'll continue to keep our eyes on your interstates and on your roads all across the metro area and central Indiana. We'll let you know if there are any trouble spots you need to avoid, but it's pretty quiet right now, Raphael.
So, Lauren, here's a serious matter. Comedian Chris Rock opening up about being diagnosed with a learning disorder as an adult. Rock told The Hollywood Reporter that he was diagnosed with nonverbal learning disorder. This was discovered after a 9-hour series of testing earlier this year. Rock said the condition means it's a challenge for him to interpret nonverbal signals in social situations. The 55-year-old says he dismissed the condition for most of his life, but he also said it helped him write some jokes. Rock says he's getting the help through 7 hours of therapy a week. The time now is 5:22, and a cowboy wait, what is this? A cowboy in Chicago skipped the Old Town Road in favor of a busy highway. Now that's a scene. Up next, the message behind that stunt. Check that out, Lauren.
Wow.
Wow.
Not something you see every day. Well, how well does your city handle your complaints about police officers? Just ahead here at 5:30, we'll have details on how you can improve how the office investigates allegations of improper conduct by police here in Indianapolis. The time right now is 5:22. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Good morning and welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. Here's a sight that you don't see every day. Check this out. A busy city like Chicago with a cowboy skipping the Old Town Road and taking his horse right to the expressway, as you can see right there. Adam Hollingsworth, known as the Dreadhead Cowboy, as you can imagine, he stalled traffic Monday evening. At his peak speed, the horse galloped at a fast 15 miles per hour. He was accompanied by a group of motorcyclists, as you can see there in the video. Now, Hollingsworth aired part of that ride on Facebook Live. He said the purpose was to raise awareness about the lack of funding for young people in Chicago. While the message was well-intentioned, as you can imagine, officers, they were not too happy with that stunt. Hollingsworth was arrested as soon as he exited the highway. And Todd, I would be okay waiting 8 hours to get into Chicago if the horse was the reason for that. But usually it takes a long time to get into that city. That would be an acceptable reason to smile about traffic along Chicago.
You know, imagine you're sitting there in traffic and all of a sudden you just see this horse riding down the road. Especially in a metropolitan area like that. All right, outside right now it is quiet. Hopefully you encounter nothing like that on your commute into work here this morning. You will not encounter any weather-related issues, I can guarantee that, as the skies are clear. Temperatures on average right around 50 degrees. Partly cloudy skies here throughout the day today. 70 by the noon hour. High temperatures today with hazy sunshine going up into the upper 70s to right around 80 degrees. Time now is 5:27. This is Good Morning Indiana right here on WRTV. Stay with us. We're back in a couple minutes.
From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
Hoosiers will soon vote in the general election. Now at 5:30, we're breaking down what it'll take for you to vote absentee.
Plus, a new effort hopes to help kids in difficult situations become leaders in their communities. This morning, we're looking at how the new program works and what it has to offer for you and your family. Welcome to Good Morning Indiana on this Tuesday, September the 22nd. We are all in Studio A today, thanks to my computer failure. So good morning to all of you. It's good to see you.
Yes.
And I've kept the homely look. No tie, Todd Clausen.
Oh, man. Yeah. No time for tying a tie when you're running in
You
here.
ran out of time or you just forgot to add a tie?
I choose not to wear a tie. I want to be back in my living room tomorrow morning, so that's my message. I love you both, but I want to be back in my living room. That's what I'm saying.
Well, we appreciate it. It's a special treat here on this Tuesday to have you with us, Raphael. Todd, we're enjoying and really soaking up, you can say, the last few hours of summer.
You know, it's absolutely beautiful out there. It's been the past couple of days, and it's nice and comfortable here this morning, although I do miss my personalized Johnson County weather reports there outside the Sanchez living room, but we'll get those back. All right, sunglasses and the light jacket needed once again this morning, and that's basically just about it. The umbrella, that's just collecting dust at this point these days. Hopefully we could brush the dust off those umbrellas and get some needed rainfall in here later in the week. Temperatures range from 47 to 54, depending on where you are. 54 in Indy, it's 40s in the outlying areas, Terre Haute over towards Bloomington, 47 in Muncie as well. The skies are completely cleared. No weather-related issues here this morning. Here is Tropical Storm Beta to the southwest of Houston. Rain extending to the north of that. We're going to try to get in some of that rain here. I think the rain, though, probably evaporates, but we will get some cloud cover in the coming days from Beta. But today, it's partly to mostly sunny with just a hazy sky with the smoke from the wildfires drifting through the area. High temperatures today, Lauren, going above normal all the way into the upper 70s.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Let's take a look at traffic right now as you are heading out on the roads. This is I-69 up at Cumberland Road. You can see traffic moving along northbound and southbound is traveling up to speed. So whether you're heading into town from Madison County, Hamilton County drivers, no problems up there to our northeast. Of course, we'll continue to keep a close eye on your roads throughout this morning and let you know if there are any issues you want to avoid. It is 5:33 though. If you do plan to vote absentee in November's election, you'll want to listen up because it's going to be a little bit trickier than it was back in June.
WRTV's Kelsey Anderson, she joins us live this morning as we continue our Democracy 2020 coverage. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning. So if you are planning to vote absentee this upcoming election in November, you need to start planning ahead because that deadline to apply is October 22nd, which is just 1 month from today. So for the primary in June, the state approved no excuse absentee, but that has not happened yet for the general election. So as of right now, there are very specific things that will allow you to vote by mail. You can see those over on WRTV.com. However, you don't have to mail in that absentee if you are uncomfortable. So if you have concerns on mailing your ballot, you can turn it in person to your county's election board at early voting sites or on election day at any voting site before noon. Again, that deadline to apply to absentee vote is in 1 month on October 22nd. And if you want to vote in person but don't want to wait in line, don't forget that a lot of places are doing early voting. Just go ahead and check with your county clerk's office to see when and where those voting sites are taking place. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Kelsey, thank you. Here's a few more dates and deadlines that you want to remember. Election Day is November 3rd. Early voting begins October 6th. If you need to take part in absentee voting by mail, you should file an application for a ballot immediately. The deadline to turn in your ballot application is October 22nd. Then when you get your absentee ballot, you must have it filled out and turned into the county election officials by noon on Election Day, which again is on November 3rd. So it's a lot to remember. We know we have all this information plus everything else you need to know to get ready for the general election. It's all in one easy location. Just go to WRTV.com/vote in 2020.
The time now is 5:35. Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett wants to know your thoughts on how the city reviews police conduct. He's encouraging the public to take part in a survey of the Citizens Police Complaint Office. That office investigates allegations of improper conduct by police. The mayor's office says your input will help shape the future of the CPCO. The office is surveys available through October the 4th. You can find a link by clicking on this story on our website, WRTV.com.
Now to new information following an officer-involved shooting that left 3 people injured on the east side. One man is now facing a preliminary battery charge for the incident. Police tell us when they got to the scene on Pleasant Run Parkway on Sunday, they found a group of about 20 people, some armed with guns, pepper spray, and other weapons. Police say gunshots were being fired in multiple directions, and at one point the suspect pointed a weapon at police. That's when an officer fired back at him. The suspect was injured, and according to police, 2 women were also shot by another suspect. This disturbance allegedly stemmed from a social media disagreement. IMPD's critical response team is investigating that shooting. The department is still in the process of deploying body cameras on all of its officers, but police say that one of the assisting officers here did have one activated.
Lauren, this morning, let's take you now to Carroll County because this morning investigators are trying to figure out what caused a deadly fire in that location. It happened yesterday on South State Road 29, this near Burlington. A passerby saw the flames and called 911. A man and a woman were both found dead inside that home. Their identities have not been released at this time. Deputies say a dog died inside as well. Investigators are encouraging any witnesses to call the Carroll County Sheriff's Office. That number out there on your screen is 765-564-2413.
Raphael, it's time to look at the latest on COVID-19, the pandemic, and the ongoing impact it's having here in Indiana. The State Department of Health reporting 535 new cases of the virus on Monday. You can see the reported daily cases have been declining since nearly 1,500 were confirmed on Saturday. More than 112,000 total cases have been reported since this pandemic began. 7 new deaths were also reported related to COVID-19, and that brings the state's death toll to 3,287.
You just heard Lauren talk about the state numbers. Let's take a look at the bigger picture, right? The confirmed U.S. death toll from COVID-19 expected to pass 200,000 very soon, and that's according to Johns Hopkins University. As John Lawrence reports, due to the increases in more than a half of the nation, that number will likely just keep on rising.
President Trump says he is pleased with how his administration is handling the coronavirus.
On the job itself, we take an A+. We're rounding the corner. on the pandemic, and we've done a phenomenal job, not just a good job, a phenomenal job.
Some of his top advisors say the country has the upper hand on COVID-19.
We've regained control of the virus, both the cases and the fatalities.
Medical experts have repeatedly disagreed with such assessments.
We've had mixed messaging on everything from masks to whether certain drugs or treatments work, to whether we should be social distancing or whether lockdowns are needed. And I think this is yet another nail in the coffin of our disastrous response.
According to Johns Hopkins University, more than 24 states are seeing a rise in week-to-week new cases, and the death toll keeps climbing.
Sometimes as the perception it was this bad virus, we did all we could, and this was inevitable. It's obviously not the case. I mean, you just need to look around the world.
The United States accounts for 4% of the world's population, but has about 21% of all coronavirus fatalities.
This is a time not to look backwards, but to look ahead and say, what can we do as a nation to come together so that we're not talking about 300,000 deaths and 400,000 deaths.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Dr. Robert Redfield, the head of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, says a vaccine probably will not be available to much of the U.S. public until the middle of 2021.
It is 5:39. WRTV's Hiring Hoosiers is teaming up with the Indiana Black Expo to provide you with links to job opportunities, resume building, and the ability to hone your interview skills. So today we're hosting a virtual Hiring Hoosiers Employment Opportunity Fair. This starts at noon today. Multiple companies are taking part. That includes FedEx, First Merchants Bank, Indianapolis Airport Authority, Lowe's, and more. For more information on how to take part, go to hiringhoosiers.com.
The time now is 5:40. A local organization helping students in difficult situations learn new skills to become leaders in their own community. ProAct Indy was given $25,000 for this initiative. It will bring weekly leadership and social equality workshops to students at the Kinsey Academy and City Prep. The group will also plan monthly service projects. School leaders say it will help them take what they learn in the classroom and put those skills into action.
The hope is that we want our kids to find themselves and discover who they are as individuals, discover where they see themselves aligning with how they can address issues in the community, and then find their passions and then live out their passions through service.
What a great program. Through the program, students will also get to plan their own service project. And if anyone has a service project today, the weather outdoors will be fantastic. And Todd Clausen has a great forecast for you on this Tuesday morning. Hey, TK.
Yeah, lots of sunshine in the forecast once again today, but we continue with the dry conditions and that fire threat. So just know that while the wind won't be as strong today as it has been to blow some of these fires around, they still can spread very quickly because we have the dry conditions as far as the ground goes and a low humidity. So if all possible, try to avoid burning here. There are some burn bans across parts of some counties here in central Indiana. I kind of moved this forward a little bit as far as the day goes to get us into the weekend, because we bring in some slight rain chances for Saturday and Sunday. It's probably late Saturday into early Sunday that a cold front will come through, and that'll be our best opportunity for some rain in our forecast going forward. Today, as Raphael mentioned, it's a nice day. Temperatures at or above normal in the upper 70s to right around 80 degrees with hazy sunshine.
Todd, thank you. Tropical Storm Beta making landfall in Texas overnight. Coming up, we'll have the latest on the storm's impact along the Gulf Coast. It is 5:41 here on your Tuesday. Stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. The time right now is 5:45 here on your Tuesday. Taking a look at traffic right now in the Beech Grove area. Good morning to you. This is I-465, a little west of Emerson Avenue. You can see traffic is moving along smoothly, both eastbound and westbound. No crashes around the metro area at this early hour to slow down your Tuesday commute. We'll keep you posted. Well, WRTV is working for you, and we're getting results. After 2 years, a vacant, partially collapsed house that neighbors called dangerous is now demolished. Residents here on South Harlan Street reached out to WRTV's own Cameron Riddle about a year ago after finding out that there are needles on the ground where kids walk to the bus stop. Squatters were also known to use this home. So we reached out to the city, and we continued to demand answers after the demolition was delayed. Bulldozers finally arrived at the property on Monday to knock it down, and the neighbors there tell us that they are relieved.
Finally, after it was burnt down 2 years ago this month, and we've been fighting with the city for the past year or so, trying to get it down because we found needles at the bus stop over here, vagrants, kids climbing in and out. We're just waiting for someone to get hurt, and finally it's down.
So if you have a problem similar to this in your own neighborhood, before you call WRTV, you can try these resources. You can use the Citizen Access Portal to research permits and demolition or repair cases. You can also report any issues to the Mayor's Action Center or the Request Indy app or website.
The time now is 5:46, and funeral plans have been announced for Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Her body will lie in repose at the Supreme Court Wednesday and Thursday. A private ceremony with family, close friends, and the justices will take place in the court's Great Hall. The public will have a chance to pay their respects from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Wednesday and from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Thursday. Justice Ginsburg will then lie in state at the U.S. Capitol on Friday. She will be given a private burial at Arlington Cemetery next week. Tropical storm Beta made landfall overnight. The storm is threatening some areas of the Gulf Coast, hit also by Hurricane Laura. ABC's Alex Pachet reports this time the Texas coast could see the worst flooding.
This morning, Tropical Storm Beta roaring ashore along the Gulf Coast. The slow-moving storm triggering flash floods in the Houston area.
Now, I want to show you some people that are just wading through water as they try to make it to higher ground.
Overnight, nearly 11 million people under flash flood watches across Texas and Louisiana.
It's the most flooding we've seen here in about 10 years, since right after Ike.
The season's 23rd named storm churning the surf, causing parts of this pier in Galveston to collapse. ABC's Matt Gutman is there.
This is the seawall that divides Galveston from the Gulf of Mexico. Now, down these stairs and about 50 yards in that direction is where the shoreline used to be, but now it's been consumed by that storm surge.
And Beta stirring huge swells in the Gulf, captured by a boat engineer out at sea. The storm is expected to linger along the coast for 2 days, dumping up to 6 inches of rain, even across areas of Louisiana still without power after Hurricane Laura just 3 weeks ago. Alex Pachet, ABC News.
And hopefully we can get some of that rainfall here in central Indiana, although I think most of the rain from Beta is going to stay just to our south. We will see some in the way of cloud cover, I think, from that storm system making its way in here tomorrow and then into the day on Thursday. But it's get your Tuesday going. 54 degrees with quiet conditions here across the area. The humidity is really, really low, and the winds have calmed down a little bit. But here's why we need the rainfall. Indianapolis, Shelbyville, and Bloomington over 2 inches below normal just this month. And then as you work your way into Muncie and Lafayette, you're not in quite the deficit, but that's because you had some rainfall earlier in the month around Labor Day. You had some of those heavy thunderstorms that went through, but the past couple weeks, even in northern locations, have been very, very dry as well. 43, that's our cool spot. Good morning to you over there in Richmond and Wayne County. 45 in Greencastle, 47 Bloomington, 49 is the current temperature as you work your way into the Tipton area. As we work our way throughout the day today, plenty of sunshine to start. Temperatures will quickly warm into the 60s here this morning and then into the mid to upper 70s later on this afternoon. Unlike the past couple days when we've had the mostly sunny skies, the sky's been nice and blue for you. Today, mostly sunny, but it's going to have that hazy, milky look, and that's because we're bringing in some of the smoke from those wildfires out west once again. So we've kind of changed the weather pattern a little bit. You notice most of central Indiana in the light gray, which is just haze. We're not getting into the dense smoke where you worry about air quality. So this is just going to give the sky, again, that milky look and give us the hazy sunshine compared to the bright blue sky that we've enjoyed the past couple days. Here's the center of Beta to the southwest of Houston, rain extending to the north. So mileage-wise, it's not super far away. It's just going to get suppressed to the south, unfortunately, as the storm system moves across the country now over towards the east coast. Here in central Indiana this evening, sunset, look at that, 7:41. Partly cloudy skies, temperatures from the 70s down into the 60s. Then overnight tonight, not as cool. We're in the 50s for overnight lows compared to the 40s like we we are this morning. And then for the day tomorrow, partly cloudy skies, although I do think there will be a trend for more clouds, especially in southern locations tomorrow as Beta passes to our south, but it shouldn't impact the temperatures all that much as we get back above normal into the upper 70s and right around 80 degrees. Going forward in the forecast, Saturday evening into Sunday, a front comes through. That'll be our best opportunity to pick up some rainfall. A few showers could linger into Monday as well. Definitely not a guarantee, but notice the temperature difference dropping almost 10 degrees from Saturday's high to Monday's high, Lauren, which will be right around 72 degrees.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look at traffic right now as you're waking up this morning. Taking you down here to Johnson County. Good morning to you in the Greenwood area. This is I-65 near the Main Street exit. You can see traffic there on I-65 is pretty quiet, moving up to speed northbound and southbound. And then if you look off in the distance, you can see Main Street there, and everything is traveling smoothly there as well. We'll continue to keep a close eye on your roads throughout your Tuesday, let you know if there are any crashes or delays.
Lauren, it looks just like how I left it about 2 hours ago. Looking good there in Johnson County. How much would you pay for that working in the yard look? How much? Come on, let me hear it. Coming up, how much a fashion designer is hoping you'll dish out for this look. Lauren, think about it. How much did you pay for those overalls?
Not very much. We'll have to see.
We'll see. We'll see.
Welcome back. The time right now is 5:55. Let's take a look out here to our east. Parts of Hancock County, you can see I-70 here. Traffic is picking up both eastbound and westbound. We're not monitoring any crashes or slowdowns for you at this early hour, but of course we'll keep our eye on things. So Raphael, they say the grass isn't always greener on the other side of the fence.
But it turns out the grass is greener, of course, on Gucci's new denim. Take a closer look. These overalls have been purposely stained with grass. Why do that to a good pair of Gucci overalls? It's just $1,400 for the play in the dirt again. Worn in look. $1,400 for that look. The Italian fashion house debuted the new look for its grunge-inspired Fall Collection 2020 collection. I should point out that if you want that look, Lauren, go to Bargersville. No, it's not hard. Go to Bargersville or Shelbyville or maybe Franklin for the harvest that's coming up. You could do it for free. So I invite all of you here on Good Morning Indiana to join me for a good harvest party with my good friends in the farming community, and we can do this for free. You do not have to spend $1,400 on a pair of pants.
To pretend like you're working.
Either that or, you know, go buy 4 bags of mulch for $5 a piece and spread it in your yard and cut the grass. And there you go. You got your look.
Can't believe that. What up?
Oh, my goodness. Ridiculous. All right. Outside right now. It depends where you live. Cool in Logansport this morning at 39 degrees. Kokomo, you're at 46. Indy's at 53. Radar, nice and quiet once again this morning. No issues as you get out on the roadways as far as the weather goes. Mostly sunny skies, although it's not that bright blue sky like we've had the past couple days as we deal with kind of that smoke giving us that hazy look moving through, but no chance of rain in the forecast for the day today. And our high temperature, a couple degrees above normal, getting up to 79 degrees.
Todd, from your sunny forecast to a solar panel project in Shelby County looking to continue its path forward. Coming up at 6 a.m., how a move by the county leaders today could shape the future of that project. The time now is 5:57, and you're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on WRTV.